All right, Happy New Year, 2026, January 2026, the year of creation. That's what we're doing. We're going to be making a lot of stuff this year. Today I'm going to be talking to you about an Eagle plugin. Eagle is a digital asset manager that I've talked about a couple times. I really like it, still use it to this day, been using it for a few years now. It is a one-time purchase. $35 gives you a license for 2 installs, 2 different devices. And it's a local first asset manager, so it's on Mac and Windows. It's not on iOS, it's not on Android, and there's not a web component to it. So all your files live on the hard drive that you're installing it on or you're putting them on, which could be a NAS. I've used it with a NAS before to use it the same library in multiple computers. It worked fine for me. And all your files live in there, and any tagging, metadata, organization that you applied to it through the app is done in a JSON file that sits next to that asset on your computer. So there's no proprietary database that things are like pulled into. It's all there on your computer. You can human readable stuff. You can probably write something to import or extract the metadata and stuff you do if you need to. So it's a very nice program. Love the same philosophy that something like Obsidian, which I also use it and love, of course, uses. So $35 gives you 2 lifetime installs on different devices. And so I really like it. I've talked about it before. Today I'm going to be talking to you about a plugin that I use called AI AutoTagger. I've been using it for a few days now. On a test library, running it against a bunch of different types of assets and stuff, and I think it's pretty interesting. So, it is by Davey Barker, and it is based on a bring your own key model, so you can use OpenAI, Google, or Anthropic with an API key for those providers. Most of them offer a pay-as-you-go type of thing. You're not necessarily locked into a monthly thing if you don't want to be. You can also use local models through LM Studio or Lana. I'm just going to be using one of the cloud providers. I'm going to look into running it locally, and then I might do another video on that specifically and compare the results of the two, something like that. But right now, we're just going to be doing these ones up here. Specifically, I'm going to be using OpenAI. I tossed them $5 of credit, and I've been using it. Basically, the way it works is you provide it an API key, a little drop down for which provider you're going to use. You put in your API key there, and you will have a big old button that says Get API Key. That'll take you to whatever relevant page it is on their website for whatever provider you have chosen to grab a API key. Then you're going to have the model settings down here. I actually couldn't get it to work with Claude or Google. I think that's because the model names, if they're updated remotely, the drop downs need to be updated manually too, is what I guess. Because you can do custom model and you can type in a model name, and it seems as if the drop down ones might need to be updated on a manual basis through the plugin when they're updated by the companies. I'm not sure exactly, but you can see I've processed 218 items through my OpenAI key, and it's cost me $2.06. Keeping an eye on it as I go through and do it. It takes about 2 cents to process an image, about 5 cents to process a video. The videos are very short that I've done, maybe a minute at most. Which seems pretty inexpensive, but of course at scale that can add up depending on how large your library is. And I've got tens of thousands of things in my library, hundreds of thousands maybe, with all the video I shoot and stuff like that for different projects. This test vault has 12,600 assets in there. A lot of those are like small game assets that I got off Humble Bundle, like little icons and stuff. Would I need to have everything tagged? No, I definitely would not. So it really just depends, and a lot of it I can do on an as I need basis. It's not like I need to get everything auto tagged right away. So just things to think about. And so the way it works is it comes with a bunch of presets that are a collection of rules. So UI design, photography, fashion inspiration, extract text, rename items are some of the presets that come with the plugin. And each one is made up of global instructions. Here's a photograph. Look closely and answer the following questions. And then the rules are either description rules, which will add text to the notes description box of the item, a tag rule, which will add tags to the item, or the naming rules, which aren't used too much, but you can add, you can tell the model to add specific keywords to the file name if you want, things like that. So like, for example, the description rules, you give it a name, which will appear in the text box, instructions on how to generate what text you want in that description box, include name as title, which will take the name that you type in for the rule and put it in the text box, and replace existing, which if you put yes, it means it's going to wipe out whatever's in the description box and then run the rule. So generally that will stay no. If you put it yes, you might want to put it yes as like if you really want all of your descriptions to be uniform and you've been using it already and manually typing stuff in and you want to erase that, something like that. But generally, you probably won't want it to replace the existing description, because that way what it'll do is it'll just add it to the end. And so you can run multiple presets on a single item and have it construct, modularly the description box based on those rules. The tags, same thing. You can name the rule. You give it instructions. So what is the primary genre or type of this photograph? Describe the lighting in the photograph. What is the color palette or tone of the image, You can give it some example tags. And the example tags can literally just be kind of like examples, guidelines. Here's a bunch of tags that, you might come across, or these are a set of tags that you can kind of derive new tags from. You can also do specific tags. So if you want to have like 10 or 15 tags and you want to tell the model only choose from these tags, only choose ones that fit in from this specific list, you can do that as well. Tag prefix is basically what's going to be added to the front of whatever tags the AI model chooses. So that way you might get genre sports, and then if sports somehow comes up in a different one, it'll have a different prefix, so you'll know the context of why that was chosen, right? And then include space. Do you want to include a space between the genre and the tag that it, or the prefix tag and the tag that it chooses? Or do you want it to be combined? And then I've got some here that I made, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the ones that I did. I'm going to have them available down below. You can take a look at them. You can use them if you want, mess around with them. I've got simple photo, which is basically I took the photography one and I just changed it to something that a little bit more relevant for me. I added little emojis on the prefixes, so I got cute little emojis. And I found that you can pass some variables to the models, so those name and description that you can add in the global instructions that will allow the model to tap into the existing description of the item if you've got stuff in there already, and the file name. This is not documented. I found this from a Reddit post advertising the newest version of the plugin, and the author mentions this in the comments. So I'll have that post down there below. That was something I found also. It's not intuitive, but if you right click on any of the presets, you can edit it. So you can just edit, the base ones if you want, or you can go copy as JSON, and then you can, paste it and save it somewhere if you want. You can also delete it. Down here in the lower left, the little plus icon, create new preset. If you right click that, you can paste a preset into it. So you can copy one of these and then right click and go paste, and it'll make you basically a new version of whatever one you just copied. So that's how you add new presets. Doesn't seem to be documented anywhere, but I found it just because somebody in the Reddit thread had commented that they were having trouble editing stuff, and he explained how to do it. There you go. Tries to determine from the EXIF data the manufacturer and model of the camera and add that as a tag. So I've got like a Google Pixel 8 Pro is my current camera. I also have like an old TCL, or I don't know if it's old, but like I've had it for like a year. But it's like a cheap TCL, like $40 Android camera that's Wi-Fi only, no cell plan or anything, that I use for like as a extra camera in certain situations. And I've got like a GoPro, so this will try to tag that from whatever source the camera provides. It also I also have it try to tag it on the year and month based on file name or EXIF data if possible. So most cameras, and if you take a screenshot on your phone or whatever, it'll have the year, month, and date info in the title, and so this will automatically take it out of that and use it. So, and then there's also a skip rule. That's the last part of these presets, and that's basically if the asset has a specific tag, it's not going to run it. And what it will do is it will add that tag when it runs successfully on it. So anything that I tag with simple photo gets a specific tag that says auto tag by simple photo. And then next time, if I run it again, it won't rerun the same preset on the, on the model. So you just have to manually get rid of that tag if you want to reprocess it, like if you change the rules or whatever. Then I've got one called products and commercials that I can run. I basically specifically tell it, hey, you are looking at a product or a piece of packaging. Do not give me any information about the background of the photo. Only tell me about what the product is, right? And the first thing that runs is it makes a product list, an unordered list, product name, the purpose of the product, and the slogan if you can find it. Generate a very detailed and accurate description of the packaging in the provided photo or video. Include aspects such as the type of product, material the packaging is made out of, color and design notes, logo elements, stuff like that. Components, what type of packaging is this? Box or bag? How does it open? What materials are involved? What individual components make up the package? And then I gave it examples like zipper, box, foil, plastic, tin, case, drawstring, like anything like that I could think of. Then I also have one for trading cards where the universal rules, I specifically say, here's a photograph of some trading cards. This is what you are looking at, right? No guesswork involved. I'm telling you exactly. I'm running this on pictures of trading cards. Tell me about the trading cards, right? So let's go through some examples. These are ones that little icons that were ran on one of the photography presets. And we can see we get a very nice description of it that kind of describes the image. Subject frog, subject leaf. Um, this one we get engraving, stone tablets. The default photography one also gives you similar artists, so it'll kind of like try to tell you like what other people have created things that look like this, whether that's a photograph or an illustration. Can kind of do that. We got this little book thing here: subject book, subject eye. Here's a picture I took at work of a little strawberry yogurt thing. And I ran the photography one on it, and I ran the text extraction on it. So we got subject handwritten note, subject yogurt parfait, right? Genre food, get a nice description of it. The text extraction, we got text on yogurt cup, vanilla non-fat yogurt with strawberries and granola, right? 01/17/2026. Text on paper, and this is some chicken scratch, my horrible handwriting, where I was written down videos I've got in the pipeline, and we've got them listed here, taken from my horrible, horrible handwriting. I liked this one just because it was kind of like an odd thing, and it gives a really nice description of it. Subject bolts, subject damaged metal, subject wheel assessment. Let's see. This was a commercial I ran it on. And this was just running the photography one. It describes the commercial, a young man interacting with a young girl, possibly his granddaughter. Subject shopping, subject retail store. It picks out that it's a Big Lots. This one was also cool because this is just a shitty image of a light fixture, and I ran the text extraction on it, and you cannot read what is on the little like battery thing here from the photo. You cannot do it. But text, danger, risk of electric shock, disconnect power before installing or servicing lamp holder, use only, blah, 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 blah. Seems pretty cool. Now, like the trading card one, the specific one I did for trading cards, it lists the cards initially in an unordered list right there. Then it describes them, points out some like game stats and stuff that it's on there, talks about the design of the card. Um, and then it kind of describes the images, right? This was a screenshot from a video game Into the Grid. It lists all of the cards that are listed in this image, and it gives you like the type of card too. And then it kind of goes over intellectual property, Into the Grid, publisher company unknown, and then it kind of gives a description of the image here. So very, very useful. I gave it stills of some videos from the Creepshow movies. This one's difficult for it to identify the movie on its own. In fact, it pretty much could not unless I told it what the movie was. Like if I change the file name to the movie title, it'll be able to give some more context. But if I didn't give it any information about the movie, it doesn't know what to do. The only one that it did actually guess at was this one with Leslie Nielsen, and it thought it was Naked Gun, which it was not. So, and there is, some issues with consistency. I found that, like, I could give it 2 screenshots of a game, and one it would tag, like, video gaming, one it would tag video game, stuff like that. So you might have to, like, be specific and be like, only use singular words, don't use plural words and things like that, or maybe just over time, once you run enough of your stuff in there and you see like how it's doing it, then maybe you go through and you start to change things to specific tag lists. I don't know. The consistency is going to be a mild issue, but because when you search in Eagle, it searches the description box, it searches tags, it searches the file name and everything. With the description and stuff, you're probably going to be able to find what you're looking for pretty easily just through that. When I added Wax Pack to the list of components that could be an option, it started to tag the trading cards in Wax Packs as Wax Packs, right? And then like it would give like the other ones the foil component versus Wax Pack. So even just using the example tags and making sure those are consistent, you can really kind of fine tune it and guide it to a way that will be helpful for you. So that's just AI AutoTagger, Davey Barker. Links below to everything. I'm going to have my own presets that you can copy and paste into new ones for yourself, and you can try. Give it a go. Let me know below if it's working for you. If you find any tricks, tips, you get some prompts that are working really well for you, or if you've got like prompts that you've made for really specific niche uses that are maybe not relevant to a lot of people, but certain people might be liking them, anything like that, let me know, because this is very interesting, very cool, I think. And you know me, big fan of Eagle, love it, love it. $35 for 2 installs, lifetime. There's going to be a new version, I think it's Q1 of this year, so in the next few months. There's going to be version 5 is going to come out. One of the things will be a local, organization type assistant thing that's supposed to be a locally ran AI, assistant for categorization, tagging, all that stuff. So when that does come out, I will be looking at it. I'll be doing some comparisons, things like that, and we'll see how that goes. But this plugin's been around for a while, and very good, very good. Give it a try. Have a good one. Happy New Year.